Okay, I guess that's the big one. Ladies and gentlemen, I'll call this special meeting to order. The first item of business is the Pledge of Allegiance. Vice Mayor Merlin Curtis.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, the first item of business on the agenda is the adoption of tonight's proposed agenda. Do I have a motion to adopt the agenda?
Move to adopt.
Any discussion? All in favor? Okay, I'm going to do that right now, since you were voting. I need a motion to excuse Mr. Mashburn. Okay, motion's made and seconded. Any discussion? All in favor? Okay. All right, the next item on the business tonight, is the only item we have, is a discussion on the new position in the Franklin Fire Department. Manager, will you give us the executive summary, please?
Yes, Mr. Mayor and Town Board, what you have before you tonight is a request to add a new position, second assistant chief to the Franklin Fire Department. The reason this is coming before you tonight in a special meeting was this was not done in the budgetary process. And pursuant to page 11 in your personnel policy section 5, and I've distributed a copy as well, new positions shall be established upon the recommendation of the town manager and approval of the town board of aldermen. New positions shall be recommended to the town board of aldermen with a recommended class title. The position classification plan, along with any new positions or classifications, shall be approved by the town board of aldermen and on file with the human resource officer. So tonight I'm asking the board for some guidance on what they would like to do with this request.
All right, you've heard the request. Do I have a motion of how we'd like to proceed on this?
Well, I've been thinking it over since it came up. And first I wanted to say to Warren that I appreciate everything you've been doing for us here as the interim or volunteer fire chief, getting all equipment up to order and the procedures and improving our rating and the insurance. Having said that, I also remembered back when we sat down as town manager and went into the EMS position and agreed that she would stay on as a volunteer chief until we were able to find a full-time chief. And looking back now, I can see why she said that, because it's a lot of work to be a fire chief, whether it's part-time or full-time. And so for me, the more I thought about it, also coming from a human resource side, rather than adding an assistant position and then having to remove that position down the road to add a full-time fire chief, my thoughts on it is that my motion would be to deny the request to create an assistant position and to instruct the town manager to move forward with research and research for a new fire chief.
Is there a second? Any discussion from the board? There being none, I'll call the vote.
You know, I've spent years and years on the fire department. The position of assistant chief, there's always been 2 assistant chiefs down there. In the past, they've been volunteers. Right now, we basically have 1 assistant chief that is actually on the full time, and what we're looking at is to put on an additional assistant chief, which would put us in, I guess, in a better posture down the road once we've got these people in their places to look at moving one of those up to a full-time chief should we decide to go after a full-time chief.
Thank you, sir. I'll call for the vote. All in favor of Patty's motion?
I was just going to say, excuse me.
Yes.
Mr. Mayor, I was also just going to say, financially, can we afford to assist the fire department and a chief, if that's what we're headed for?
Well,
we did talk whenever Warren did leave you know, that he knew that sooner or later, you know, he was gonna have to handpick somebody to be a chief. And, you know, if we're needing an extra body, maybe that is the way to go, I don't know. I don't, it's kinda, I'm
Well,
not there, so.
You know, we're not adding, our plan wasn't to add an additional person. It was to move within the ranks that are there, so it's actually changing the position, title, money.
It'd be pay raise and everything.
Well, that's down the road on it. You would think that we would be doing that, but that's another issue with it, is to put that on. First, we have to put the position on, then we've got to decide, you know, who's gonna go into that position. Then the money's already there. I mean, we've got money in the budget for that.
But then if we do, then we don't have room for a
Well,
chief.
that would have to be budgeted down the road for if we decide to go that route.
And Chad, if we do put another assistant on, would it be a pay raise?
We'd have to do something eventually. To compensate him for doing those duties.
Yeah, I would like, instead of waiting to go for a vote, I would like for Warren, the fire chief, to get up and tell us a little bit about why we're wanting to do this. Well, instead of just, you know, just coming up and saying no, let's listen to him and let him explain to us what we're trying to do.
We have a motion on the floor,
Okay. Can we unmotion it?
and a second.
Oh,
We really didn't have any discussion from anybody else on the agenda tonight.
I don't know what protocol is.
The protocol is we adopted the agenda as stated.
So I have mixed feelings on this myself. I don't see in my own mind how it will enhance the fire department. However, it kind of worries me a little bit that it might divide the fire department a little bit, having two chiefs. If we need another something to call it another one, we could call him a crew chief rather than an assistant chief. I just don't, can't see in my own mind where it's going to benefit the fire department.
Well, for the last I was on the department for 34 years, and I've been off for about 7 years, so I know for the last 42 years we've had 2 assistant chiefs.
But were they both full-time positions?
Well, no, because we didn't have full-time people until about 12 years ago or something like that, and we started out with 1 person and we continue to add. But this allows us, with 2 assistant chiefs on there full-time, it allows us to break the department up, and that way that you've got an assistant chief with every shift, with an addition, with one of the full-time firemen. So,
Okay, any further discussion? All right, all in favor of Patty's motion? Okay, all opposed? Okay. Madam Manager, this authorizes you to proceed with advertising for full-time fire chief. Any further discussion before I entertain? I guess I'll entertain a motion to adjourn. All right, all in favor?